This is part 2 of our Progress Hijackers conversation. So if you missed part 1, go check out yesterday's conversation. Let's jump right into it. Procrastination. Procrastination is simply delay. We're delaying the inevitable. We have to do the thing, whatever the thing is. So for me, if that's an assignment that I have to do for work, if it's an email I have to write for my business, it's going to have to get done. But the longer that I delay, the more pressure I put on myself. And granted, I do hear the conversation from people saying, well, no, I work better under pressure. Well, that kind of pressure is not healthy, number one, and it's another excuse to prevent ourselves from being better planners. If we know that there is a task that we need to fulfill, an assignment that we must accomplish, let's do our due diligence to be better preparers and prioritizers of these areas of our lives. So another thing with procrastination is that there is a fear of failure. At least that was the case for me. The reason why I procrastinated is because, man, this is going to take a long time. This is going to challenge me. This is going to require a whole lot of effort. And you would think that I would prioritize planning, as I suggested, but I just procrastinated. And so that fear built up inside of me until I waited till the last minute and beat myself up along the way, saying, why did you wait? Why did you delay this so long? And all of that, at least what I found in my experience, was a result of a fear of failure. Instead of doing proper planning and having a little bit of foresight as to what to expect, I delayed because I took on the idea that, oh, this pressure is going to help me to push past my feelings to get this done, when in actuality, it caused more stress and it didn't do well with my body. I end up not eating because I'm trying to rush to get this last minute thing done that I created more work for myself. And I'm not eating, I'm not drinking, I'm not taking good care of myself because I've delayed. And the irony is for whatever reason, we can procrastinate on things that actually require our attention. But when it comes to gratifying our flesh or gratifying our wants, we want it instantly. But we procrastinate on the things that actually require for us to do some work. Now, the remedy to procrastination is to just do it. It's as simple as that. However, I understand the difficulty or the challenge and it not being as easy as it is so simply said. But a lot of times when folks are dealing with procrastination, as I did, what was helpful for me was getting an accountability with someone else, whether that be a coach or a mentor or someone to check up on me to make sure that I'm doing what I said I was going to do. So that's one way to resolve procrastination if that's an area of your life that you find yourself challenged in. Our last coping behavior in our list of progress hijackers is people pleasing. And like I said, all of these areas I've dealt with, and occasionally they try to pop up in my life and I have to kind of retrain myself, unlearn and relearn different behaviors, different strategies to cope with some of the areas in my life where I might have challenge with. But a people pleaser is a person who puts others' needs ahead of their own. Now, granted, this is not a bad thing to prioritize other people, but that's when we make sure that we are good, that our cup is full, and we're prioritizing people from our overflow. Furthermore, it says this type of person is highly attuned to others and often seen as agreeable, helpful, and kind. But people pleasers can also have trouble advocating for themselves, which can lead to a harmful pattern of self-sacrifice and self-neglect. This can look like a fear of other people's opinions or perspectives. And when you really think about people pleasing, and I'm sure for the person who would find themselves always and overly helping others and is in the category of people pleasing, they wouldn't see that as manipulative. But in actuality, people pleasing is manipulative because you are doing the thing to get in the good graces of the other person, to get them to favor you or to be pleased by you, and that is you trying to manipulate their perspective of you instead of being genuine. And if it's something that you can't help with or something that is not agreeable to you, being okay with their response of maybe disagreement or their response of frustration if you cannot help them. Because guess what? They'll live. They'll be all right. And again, going back to setting those boundaries for yourself, because again, boundaries are about us as individuals, where I end and another person begins. So when we are struggling with people pleasing, setting boundaries is one of the best, if not better, ways to restructure our way of thinking so that we're not manipulating our relationships, but that we're genuinely coming into the relationships wanting to help, but also understanding where our capacity is. Because in us being helpful and agreeable in this people pleasing, we overcommit, we become overwhelmed, we're stressed, we become frustrated, annoyed. And so that again is a heavy burden that we carry when we are people pleasing or operating in this coping behavior. Again, when we are afraid to confront situations or we're avoiding situations and they become barriers again to our success. We end up not practicing good self-care when we are operating from a people-pleasing behavior. And instead, again, prioritizing what's the most efficient and most effective way to do life and to be in a relationship with people. So I hope that what I've shared with you has been helpful to you in one, seeing that you're not alone if you deal with any of these areas of performance, procrastination, perfection, or people pleasing. You are not alone. And I hope that the remedies that I shared or just certain highlights from my own experience has helped you to kind of see it differently and shed a new light on how you can approach these areas in your life. So if you could do me a favor and like, comment, subscribe, and share, I would truly, truly appreciate it. And don't forget to get our complimentary resource at www.gobraveLLC.com so that you can stay connected with what we're doing over these 25 days of soul work. And lastly, again, if you want to connect with me live, January 11th, 2025, we are doing our Revolutionize Your Resolutions strategy session and workshop. And I would love for you to participate in planning for quarter one of 2025. I know we'll already be in January, but let's be real. You're probably just now getting settled back into the groove of things. So why not have a clear head to be able to execute on your planning, building a sustainable vision with practical and tactical steps and goals, and with God in mind in the process. So if you want to join me, go ahead and register at www.gobraveLLC.com. And until next time, let your soul work be your best work to a better you. Have a great one.